Welcome to the Riders Lounge. I'm Mark Fawcett, and on today's episode, the Nidecker Mosquito. Thanks for tuning into this episode. First, I want to thank our sponsors, Cole HEADWEAR, BALDFACE Lodge, James Brand Knives, Nelson Brewing Company, Stoke the Fire Hotsauce, and our new sponsor, This Is Coffee. So Nidecker's Mosquito, obviously a very directional board. This one's been ridden a lot. It's been a bit of a shop favorite. I've had it out for multiple days, had it out a bunch at Sunshine Village, had it in a banked slalom that I actually had the fastest time on with a jacked ankle, even in a weird stance. This is a great little board. It's in what Nidecker calls their surf-inspired collection, and this is the smallest within that. So the big one, this one is a 152. It's 26 wide with 13 millimeters of taper. The smaller one is a 148, still at 25.8 centimeters wide at the waist and 12 mils of taper. I know there's a bit of a cult following behind this too, because I did post a picture of it along with a quiver of boards I was testing in a closet that I had at this hotel, and a bunch of people, I think from Fernie even, were like, hey, that mosquito, are you selling that thing? So this thing's pretty amazing. Has a very unique construction. It's what they, Nidecker says, is the power rail. So the core actually comes out all the way over the edge. I look at it and I think it's almost, again, surf-inspired, like a real domed top. So of course it's flat in the middle, but it really has a really long curve down onto over the edge instead of just being straight over. Those ones that are straight over on 99% of the boards, the final almost centimeter, at least 6 mils, is all just sidewall material. So the top sheet just ends up over sidewall, and then the edge is underneath that. This, the actual core goes over. I'll say it turns and rides and is playful and maneuverable like a 152, but it's got the like horsepower and holding power of something like 10 centimeters longer. That's what Nidecker suggests too. So in sizing, you downsize to this one for sure. You'd be looking at, if you ride a 62, you're gonna ride the 52. If you're more of a 58, 57 rider, you're gonna go down to the 148. Again, I had size 10 feet, 185, and this thing was plenty for me. I couldn't believe how well it did in this banked slalom, which was had sections of it that were quite open, more like giant slalom speed turns in it. It also has a sintered 9,000 base on it. So this is, I think it might even be Nidecker's fastest. They claim it's one of their fastest, if not their fastest base that they produce and put on boards. So yeah, this thing was pretty unreal. I know Morrison has ridden it, and for whatever reason, he put the bindings way back, and it works fine. I think you could just throw your bindings on anywhere on this board, and it's gonna work. I had them a little bit more as per reference. I usually almost always put my front foot on where they call reference, and then put my stance on it from there. So I think I was riding 22 inches when I was riding this one, because again, my ankle was all wacky. And it had me just aft of the reference of the back foot. Plenty of stance options on this board. They nailed the flex. It's got a lot of meat to it in the middle. So it's got pretty much a standard camber, just a little bit of it. A long rockered early rise going into the nose and camber right back into that flip in the tail. You could ride it switch in firm conditions probably, but I wouldn't advise in much else. It's obviously very directional. I think Mark and a few other people had it in the POW, so I've not had it in powder, which obviously it's like one of its marquee selling points is this like wider, longer nose and the short swallowtail. Like this thing should just slay it in powder, and in the trees you're not going to get it caught up. And again, so much fun for a 152. I had so much fun riding all mountain, riding groomers on it, putting it in the bank slalom. A great board. Definitely something I want to keep in my quiver, and it's in really good shape, like top sheet, base, everything. Of course, we still have some wax on there right now, but considering the crew take it out often, it's definitely ridden weekly. It's holding up super well. So I'll probably be the next person out on it, actually. So I really want to thank you for watching the Riders Lounge and this episode. Please like and subscribe to us on YouTube. It helps keep us rolling. If you have any like really detailed questions about this deck, hit us up on Patreon. We get at those ones and can answer them with longer paragraphs than we can on YouTube. And until next time, thanks again for watching the Riders Lounge. I'm Mark Fawcett. Regroup.
Go get Mark. Just like that. Sick.